This is the Kin by Tuft and Needle 10-inch Queen Adaptive Foam Mattress. And the thing that surprised me most is how steady and supportive it feels without feeling stiff. I wake up with my back feeling aligned, and I do not get stuck when I roll over. I would put this mattress in the all-foam category, and it is built for people who want a medium firm feel with real support, minus the bounce of springs. If you sleep with a partner, or you toss and turn a lot, this kind of foam can keep movement from rippling across the bed. If you run warm at night, the way the foam breathes matters, and that is one of the reasons I wanted to try it. Design-wise, the Kin keeps things simple. It is a 2-layer foam stack using what Tuft and Needle calls adaptive foam on both layers, just tuned differently. The base has a firmer feel that acts like the foundation, and the top has a gentler give to contour to shoulders and hips. There is no complicated sandwich of gels and mystery materials. The cover is smooth and has a slight stretch, and it does not feel plasticky. The corners look clean once it expands fully, and the whole profile sits at about 10 inches tall. What you feel day to day is a balanced surface that compresses where you need relief and stays steady where you need lift. Setup was straightforward. It arrived in a compact box, and I could maneuver it upstairs without asking for help. When I cut the plastic, it puffed up quickly, but it looked a little wrinkled at the edges for a while. I let it breathe on a flat platform base with slats and no box spring. I gave it a full day before sleeping on it, and it took about 2 to 3 days for the corners to look perfectly squared. There was a light new mattress smell that faded by the next night. If you can, crack a window and let it air out for a bit. The cover did not snag on anything while unwrapping, and the stitching felt tidy. Responsiveness is where this mattress feels different from classic memory foam. When I roll from my side to my back, the surface adjusts almost instantly. It does not leave an impression that lingers. Pushing down with my hand, the top foam rebounds fast, so there is no trampoline bounce, but it is not slow and mushy either. I can sit on the edge to tie shoes and it holds me, though the edge does compress more than the middle, which is normal for foam. I would call the edge support decent for sleeping, fair for sitting. On comfort and support, it leans a touch firm on first contact and relaxes after a few minutes. I am a side and back sleeper at about 180 pounds, and it gives my shoulders a little sink without letting my hips drop out of line. On my back, there is a gentle cradle in the lower back area that keeps me from overarching. On my stomach, I can sleep a full night without feeling that swayback pinch, which is not always the case with softer foam beds. Over several nights, I noticed I changed positions less, mostly because there were fewer pressure spots waking me up. Temperature control is solid. I am a warm sleeper, and I used a cotton sheet set without a mattress protector for the first 2 nights to get a true read. I stayed neutral, no cool to the touch gimmicks, but also no heat trap. The open cell foam lets air move when you shift. Adding a breathable protector later did not change that. If you run extremely hot, a cooling topper might help, but for me it held steady through a full week and a half of testing. Motion isolation is excellent. I set a half-full water glass on one side and sat down on the other side a few times. The water barely wobbled. My partner getting up early did not wake me, and the mattress does not transfer that rolling wave from one person to the other. If you have a restless sleeper next to you, that is a clear win. Now for real-world scenarios. After a long day at my desk, I tend to read in bed for 30 minutes. Propped up on 2 pillows, my lower back usually complains on softer mattresses. Here, the firmer base layer stops that sink, so my spine stays straighter. On weekend mornings, I watched a show with my knees up in a tray on the bed. The surface kept the tray stable, which sounds small, but it speaks to how the foam resists that slow roll effect. I also tried working from bed for an hour with a laptop, and while I would not recommend that habit, the mattress did not collapse under my hips like some plush beds do. When I slide off the side at night for a quick water break, the transition is controlled rather than bouncy, which makes it easier to stand up without waking fully. One specific use case where this mattress shines is for combination sleepers who hate feeling stuck. I sleep on my side to fall asleep, roll to my back in the early morning, and sometimes spend the last half hour on my stomach. On many memory foam beds, That first side sleeping feels good, but changing positions takes effort. Here, the top foam releases quickly, so I can pivot without lifting my whole body. The medium firm feel means my shoulder does not go numb, and my ribs do not feel crushed. If you share a bed and you both move around, that quick response keeps you from colliding into each other's body impressions. The smarter touches are subtle but meaningful. The two-layer design using the same adaptive foam means there is a consistent feel across the whole surface, not a patchwork of different zones that can feel uneven. The open cell structure actually does vent heat instead of relying on a cooling fabric that diminishes once you add sheets. And while it is not a spec you feel in the moment, the brand offering a 100-night sleep trial and a 10-year limited warranty adds confidence for someone who likes to live with a mattress before deciding. Knowing I could take real time to test helped me relax into the experience rather than try to decide in a weekend. There are a few quirks to know. If you love the lively bounce of coils, this will feel more muted. You get pushback but not springiness. Edge support is fine for lying down but only average for long sitting sessions. If you are significantly heavier, say well over 200 pounds, or if you prefer a very plush feel, you may want a thicker or hybrid option for extra lift at the hips. I also found the corners needed that full 2 to 3 days to reach maximum shape, so do not judge it in the first hour. After sleeping on it for more than a week and cycling through my usual routines, the main impression is consistency. Night after night, I get the same supportive feel, the same moderate contouring, and the same quiet response when I move. It is not trying to wow me with tricks. It just keeps my back neutral, keeps heat under control, and keeps partner movement out of my space. If you are upgrading from an older spring mattress and you want something that feels stable and modern without going ultra soft, this is a strong fit. If you are a combination sleeper who values quick response and motion isolation, you will appreciate the adaptive foam. If you are a hot sleeper who wants neutral temperature rather than icy cool, this checks that box. And if you care about simplicity and reliability over a long list of buzzwords, the two-layer build makes sense. I will wrap with this. The Kin by Tuft and Needle 10-inch Queen adaptive foam mattress delivers a balanced ride. It is firm enough to align my back, gentle enough to ease pressure at the shoulders and hips, and responsive enough to move freely. It is not aiming to be the softest or the bounciest. It aims for steady, breathable support, and in daily use, that is what it delivers. If that sounds like the kind of sleep surface you are after, it belongs on your shortlist. I will post full information about the Kin by Tuft and Needle 10-inch Queen adaptive foam mattress in the comments section. See you in the following videos.